With the official drop of information from Wizards of the Coast regarding Avatar: The Last Airbender, the Magic the Gathering crossover, I decided I wanted to do more than just a first look. I wanted to do a bit of a deep dive and pick out three big pieces of information that I think are most important to Magic the Gathering fans like you and I when it comes to the latest Universes Beyond release. And in this video, we're going to have a point of conversation for almost everyone. We've got collectors, we've got players, and people interested in Universes Beyond, its success, its failure in the IAP, whatever it might be. There's something in this video for you. And if you like content like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the like button down below, because it helps a small channel like mine more than you can possibly imagine. All right, there's some things I want to talk about Avatar. I want to get it off my chest. Let's dive in. For those who have followed the channel before for a long time, you have heard me say in the past that I believe Magic must be attacked from different angles. When you create a Magic the Gathering set, you can't just make an amazing trading card game playing experience. It is by far the most important, as Magic is the most played trading card game in the known universe, but you also have to have collectibles. You have to have things for people who enjoy the Magic story or various IPs to dive into, and Avatar does a pretty decent job, albeit in different ways, in all three of these aspects. Starting with collectibility, Avatar: The Last Airbender jumped off the page to me from the get-go with no serialized cards. Now there's a caveat here. There's always the thought that we've seen the early previews from Wizards of the Coast, we've seen the boxes that say may contain serialized cards and the boxes that don't say that. We always assume if it doesn't, the set does not contain serialized cards. There's also the, does Wizards of the Coast just hide that emblem? Is it actually going to contain serialized cards? Will we find out? Let me know if we got this wrong in the comment section down below. But we're going to operate under the no serialized cards based on the boxes and products that we have seen to this point. And it's extremely interesting to me. There was a time when Magic the Gathering and Wizards of the Coast introduced serialized cards to the community, and it was all the rage. It was the singular way that they pushed collectibility. But that has all but gone by the wayside in the sense of it is no longer the singular way that Wizards of the Coast pushes and promotes collectibility. Looking at things like Edge of Eternities, the Spider-Man set, and now, yes, even Avatar, we are going 3 sets deep without containing serialized cards that have some insane collectibles. Spider-Man's going to speak for itself. Edge of Eternities has the singularity foils and the various treatments and variants that have been very popular with collectors, but Avatar takes this to a next level as we see the addition of the raised double foil card. That's right, they showed off an Avatar Aang card that is a raised foil on both sides, and I got to tell you, Wizards of the Coast, their design team, the people creating these cards are making some beautiful pieces for people looking to collect. Now, if collecting's not your bag, we're about to get to gameplay. It's obviously the most important aspect of Magic the Gathering, but I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the fact that this collectability is going to be centered around non-serialized cards. We're going to see if that continues to take, as in previous years, fans like you and I didn't necessarily take to collectability that wasn't number stamped. I think it's a very fun move. I think serialized cards are a great addition to Magic the Gathering, but I think you have to collect outside of serialized cards. You have to push collecting outside of that, and the raised double foil treatment and the art on those cards is looking insane. And there's also the lesser mentioned bonus sheet. Now there's a bonus sheet with a card on it which represents every single episode of Avatar, if I understood the tweet correctly. And if that's the case, that bonus sheet is probably going to be hot. We saw something along the lines of this with Final Fantasy, where you had the specialized Final Fantasy art from various games on a certain set of cards, and it was really cool. In fact, I'm building a subset of collection. I put them in a binder. I'll probably show that off at the end of the month for what I bought this month and kind of filled out a binder and made it look pretty cool. But this idea that we are connecting the card game to the physical thing is really a great move in my opinion, and it goes a step further when the bonus sheet is incredible. I've seen 2 spoilered cards from that bonus sheet as of right now, and it is Force of Negation and the Great Henge. Those are the 2 cards I've seen spoiled so far, and my goodness, it's absolutely insane. If the bonus sheet keeps bringing heat like that, this set is going to go through the roof value-wise. Collectability looks very strong with Avatar: The Last Airbender. You get the scene bundles and things like that as well to build little cool scenes, just like you do in Spider-Man. I like this. I think it's a massive win. But Magic cannot just be collectability. We've talked about this ad nauseum. As the most played and best played trading card game in the known universe, you have to have something for players. And with all Universes Beyond sets, I think the shining star, the biggest plus of Universes Beyond is the fact that it brings people who either aren't into Magic the Gathering or were into Magic the Gathering and have fallen out of the fold back in. And Avatar looks to really seem to express a strength there with the beginner-friendly products. Now, it is worth noting that Wizards of the Coast is looking like it's taking a direction of beginner-friendly products not being Commander exclusive. For the longest time, the beginner-friendly product was, well, buy a Commander deck. And I've said on this channel and on the internet for the better part of 3 years now that Commander is by far the most fun way to casually play Magic the Gathering, but it's very difficult to learn how Magic the Gathering works at a Commander table. It's not impossible, but there is so much to keep track of, there is so much to think about, and there is so much difference when you transition, and if you do, from playing pre-con Commander decks to in-depth Commander decks and more interaction, etc., that I've never believed that Commander is the best onboarding point. I mean, think about it, you can sit down at a Commander deck and see almost any card in Magic's history. But with Avatar, they look like they are going to transition back to more of the, one-on-one. I don't want to say 60 card Magic because there's some jumpstart stuff in here, but one-on-one Magic the Gathering as being the onboarding set. As I mentioned just now, they have Jumpstart, and I've always loved Jumpstart as a smash-up equivalent, if you will. For those who have played Smash Up, you know what I'm talking about. The idea to take a couple packs, a couple decks, slam them together, sit down, and jam some Magic the Gathering in its simplest form has always been beautiful. The replay experience, the fact that you can build a little box out of it for your game night with your friends is a wonderful way to go about getting new people involved and getting entrenched Magic players to play new and exciting games with newer Magic players. So I love that there is this Jumpstart focus here on this product, and Jumpstart is at its best when it's not 24/7 shoved in our face. To see it here with Avatar, to have a quick and easy and dirty way to sit down and play with something that is this widespread with an IP this popular is a massive win. But they didn't abandon Commander completely. While there's no Commander decks, the Commander bundle is really exciting. For those who don't know, the Commander bundle is a bundle that comes with 9 packs and some Commander staples, i.e. you're probably going to get a Command Tower, a Soul Ring, etc., things of that nature. Arcane Signet's probably in there somewhere, a pack of lands. You get what I'm saying. But this idea that you're going to have this little starter kit and 9 packs to say, okay, here's your foundation, here's your base for a Commander deck. Now go forward, explore Magic the Gathering, and try to build one is both a positive and a negative. I think it's a positive because having some place to go for someone who says, hey, I'd like to play Commander, but I'm not necessarily comfortable going and getting all the singles, having this deck out, or this bundle, this set of staple cards is cool. But it just begs the question that shouldn't this just be a Commander Precon? Don't you think it just does better as a Commander Precon? Also, the fact that it's got 9 packs in there is really fun. In my opinion, I've always said that the opening of product, the opening of sealed product, opening of packs is important in your life cycle, your journey as a Magic the Gathering fan. And I know that you're not going to get your money back from these packs. I know that scalpers are the worst and everyone should buy singles. I get that. But there's a value to cracking packs with your friends, having fun, and pulling something. There's a value to opening some cards for your collection. It is a lot of fun, and it creates an attachment that I think is both necessary and, well, can lead you down a dark path if you look behind me on my shelf. But I digress. The play and the onboarding new player experience is going to be different going forward. I wonder if they're going to continue with this in the future, and I'm really excited to see if we can onboard more players more effectively and then transition them into Commander. I'm skeptical, but I'm excited. Now, the last thing I want to talk about before this video ends is the attention to the IP. And for those who like Magic the Gathering but weren't the biggest fans of Universes Beyond, they're just going to slap a bunch of slop on cards, and I don't want to play against Spider-Man and Aang and yada yada again, Magic the Gathering. To their credit, they've done a really good job caring for the IPs that they seem to produce. When it, from Lord of the Rings to Final Fantasy, Fallout, even Doctor Who, and now Spider-Man and Avatar. These IPs have really hit home with the fans of those IP. They've taken great care to produce a product that speaks well of the IP, that goes hand in hand with the IP, and in my opinion, this is a big deal. We were skeptical on what Wizards of the Coast was going to be able to do this. They had not shown care in their own story, or what we considered care in their own story, for some time? Were they going to take the time to care for other stories the way they should have cared for theirs? And so far, the answer seems to be unequivocally yes. I'm excited to see what Avatar's going to do in the secondary market. It's worth noting, pre-orders went live on Amazon, and the collector booster box already sold out. It's absolutely insane out there. We're going to talk about the product, talk about the prices and all the normal stuff in this channel, but I wanted to get over and just discuss the 3 main takeaways from this announcement and why I think they're a big deal. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to link a Final Fantasy video that I did over here. So if you like conversations like this, make sure you click that video. And again, all those clicks help the channel. This channel members that support the channel for $5 a month go a long way to helping me continue to produce things, buy audio and video equipment and everything that I do here. So big shout out to all of the channel members. I appreciate you all more than you can possibly imagine for keeping the engine going. Until next time, you all know me. My name is Josh, and we'll see you around. All right, goodbye.